Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander Deck. This one is the Mardu Surge. Red, white, and black make attacker tokens and sacrifice them for value. Commander will be the main commander will be Zurgo Stormrender. Frustrated by the casualties caused by the recklessness, the orc warrior, once known as Zurgo Bell Striker, rebelled against the Dragon Lord Kolagan. This is not that dragon. The renamed Zurgo Stormrender now leads the new Mardu, the most fearsome and organized army on Tarkir, and strike while the iron is hot. So let's see what is inside this commander deck. By the way, I'm bringing all the 5 Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander decks, so if you haven't done so, don't forget to like and subscribe to have access, or check the channel to have access to all that content. And the secret message on the deck is, be the raging storm. What do you think about these new boxes? They look like they occupied less space. Everything is like on a Tetris still, and there's still lots of empty space there. So you have the collector's booster sample pack, which will open. We got as well this amazing box, which has Zurgo on one side and the secondary commander. That's the guy. I assume so. Neriv. Does it look like the same? I think it does. Oh, now the piece of paper comes stuck in here. It's smaller than normal. So yeah, it's more like an introductory kind of paper where you have this white protection order, the seat, death and decay, fears, some kind of introduction to the colors, how to play the deck, the commander rules, much smaller, and then the lore part is on the other side as normal. It kind of feels like it's half of the normal size, which is good to save paper. So about Zurgo, this is different. Zurgo Bell Striker. This warrior was content with his lot and position within the Dragon Lord Kolagan's brood, where he had a designated purpose of striking the bell to signal attacks. Wow, what a purpose! Oh, we're gonna be attacked! Me. Wherever his views began to shift as he witnessed other Mardu living and dying just to satisfy Kolagan's fury. When the Phyrexians arrived, damn Phyrexian. Kolagan's brood was a reckless and disorganized swarm that threw themselves at the invading force. Zurgo took the reins of the leadership, directing the disconnect warriors into a coordinated army and ensuring their survival. The massive casualties suffered from Kolagan's recklessness ignited the flames of rebellion within Zurgo, tempered from his battles and losses. The renamed Zurgo Stormrender now leads the new Mardu. We've seen that. Okay, so there's the guy. And who's the dragon? Neriv, crackling vanguard. The Dragon Lord's rule and the Phyrexian invasion of Tarkir left the land devastated. In summoning Neriv during the Storm Nexus ritual, the Mardu sought to revitalize their collective, finding purpose not in the constant pursuit of battle, but in the unity and strength of will. Neriv's primary role is as the vanguard of the Mardu, leading them into battle and to new locations across the steppe. Okay, so what's the logic here? It's Zurgo. Zurgo rides with this thing. Oh, there are the tokens. Yeah, let's not forget to punch them out and find local commander events. And there's the QR code. So no more those crappy punch out rectangles that you never knew what was the purpose. Let's see what we can get from this thing now. Carefully opening it. It's from this side. There you go. There's some promotion and stadium headliner. And wow, this looks good. Keru Goldkeeper. There's a Keru Goldkeeper here. Uncommon. Cool. Now, deck. Deck. Opening. And we take the tokens out. Okay, tokens here. We get the commanders from this side. And yeah, struggling. Magic formats. Does this complete an art? No. Not. Oh, does it? No, it doesn't. Zurgo 3 mana, 3/3. Mobilize 1. When this creature attacks, create a tapped attacking 1/1 red warrior, and which is sacrifice at the end. And whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, which is here, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses 1 life. I'm sure you'll prefer each opponent losing 1 life. I'm not sure, but it sounds like a good thing, especially. But you need to attack, so this guy is forced to attack for that to happen. Neriv, Crackling Vanguard. It's a Spirit Dragon for 5/4, flying and death touch. When Neriv enters, you create 2 red goblins, 1/1s, and then when Neriv attacks, exile a number of cards from the top of your library equal to the number of different name tokens you control. During any turn you attacked with the commander, you may play those cards. Okay, so this is gonna be a token commander, which is a good idea to take a look. Elemental, Servo, Citizen, Goblin, Mirror. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of them. All the spirits, Soldier, and angels, birds, snakes, dogs, Eldrazi's as well. Okay, so we're gonna have, this is gonna be like the Noah's Ark of magic creatures. And we start with Enoch, the strike leader. Doc creates red goblins. This one creates red goblins. Enoch. Ironwheel Forger. 3/3, Lieutenant. At the beginning of your combat, if you control your commander, target non-legendary creature gains Myriad until the end of the turn. Myriad is also always very good, especially if it's that dragon that flies or something. The Will of the Mardu, and there's Neva, what's the name? Neriv. There's Neriv here. Choose 1 if you control a commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Create red warriors, or deal damage to target creature equal to the number of creatures you control. And it's an instant. The Bone Devourer. +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of creatures that die this turn. Very good to come at the end of the turn. No, it has flash, so it can come anytime it makes sense for it to come. When lots of creatures died, like for example after a board wipe, and it's a flying. So wow, be careful. If you smell like, okay, it smells like a board wipe is coming, or someone says, oh, now it's time for the board wipe. I'm waiting for the board wipe. Oh, so you're waiting for the board wipe? Then I'll wait for this. Creatures that died. So not only your creatures, all creatures. That's a good game changer. Within range. When this creature, enchantment, enters, create 2 red warriors. And whenever you attack, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures attacking them. Token decks, yes. Goldless Triad. Flying Myriad. Whenever this creature deals damage to a player, you create a treasure, so lots of treasures coming your way. Infantry Shield, an artifact that mobilizes. Oh, mobilizes equal to Axe, so if you mobilize on a big guy, that's gonna be huge. Redoubled Storm Singer. It's an Orc Wizard. That's strange. First strike, whenever this creature attacks, for each creature token you control that entering this turn, create a tapped and attacking token that is a copy. Works well with the commander. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Equal to the number of creatures you control again. Whenever you attack, you also create humans. Angel of Invention, 4 arms there, and 4 swords. 2/1, 5/4/2/1. Wait, let's see the rest. Flying, Vigilance, I think that's fine. Fabricate, when this creature enters, put 2/+1 counters on it, or create 2 servo artifact counters. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay. I think the server don't fly, right? The Topters are the ones that fly, so if they were Topters, Commander's Insignia. Creatures you control get +1 for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone. Okay. Yeah, kill my commander, I don't care. You just gave, again, +1/+1 to all my tokens, so you're dead. Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens you would be created under your way, that many 4/4 angel created tokens with fly and vigilance are created instead. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, you see the card says create 1/1 crap, but because I have this enchantment now I create 4/4 angels with flying. That. A Merry Angel. Flying and landfall. Whenever land you control enters, you may create a 1/1 white bird with flying. Grand Crescendo. That's Streets of Capena for sure. Create X green and white citizens, and you get indestructible. Hero of Bladehold. Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other creatures get +1. Whenever this creature attacks, you create a soldiers. More +1. So yeah, I'm liking this deck. This deck sounds like a fun deck. It's an aggressive deck, so you need to be constantly putting yourself in front to give damage. Hour of Reckoning. Destroy all no-token creatures. That's one of the trickiest. Legion Loyalty. Creatures you control have Myriad. What? So what happens if they already have Myriad? Yeah, it's like flying, right? It doesn't compensate. It doesn't create another copy. It's not Myriad, square Myriad. But it's very expensive. Yeah, imagine all those tokens creating Myriad. That's game changer there. That's finishing blow. Selfless Spirit. Sacrifice this creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn. That's really useful. You stay there waiting. There's the Sun Titan. Everyone knows the Sun Titan. Whenever one or more creature you control with mana 3 or less enters, you draw a card. Let the tokens come in. Cards flying your way. Twilight Drover. Whenever creature token leaves the battlefield, you put a +1 on this guy, and then you remove a +1. You create 2 flying spirits. You convert +1s into spirits. Shittering Witch. When this creature enters, create a number of rats equal to the number of opponents you have. And then sacrifice a creature, target creature, class. Okay. Yeah. Eliminate the competition. Wow, that's a violent card. What's happening here? So he is stabbing himself. And that's great. Yeah, he's putting a knife through his own arm just to hit the other guy. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you need to sacrifice creatures to destroy X creatures. Okay, makes sense because you damage yourself there. So you kill the tokens and then you board wipe everything based on the tokens. Jix. Yagamoth's Praetor. Phyrexian Praetor. There's a Praetor here. Okay. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller pays 1 life. If they do, they draw a card. If whenever a creature deals combat damage to... okay, could be creatures from the other guys. If you want, you pay life and you draw a card. And then you pay 7, discards X cards. You exile the top X cards to a target open library. You may play lands and cast spells from among the cards exiled without paying their mana costs. Wow. It's expensive, but then everything that comes in, you put it for free. But you're giving lots of cards to the other guys. But it's an invitation, like a golden invitation. It's like, hey, if you attack another guy, you can pay 1 life and get a card, so don't attack me. Mindblade Render. Whenever your opponent are dealt combat damage, if any of that combat damage was dealt by a warrior, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Okay, this is a warrior. So, you have the tokens as well, which are always warriors. Mostly. Ophiomancer. She controls the snakes. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you control no snakes, create a snake. That's it. Another kind of animal. So if we go back to Zurgo, not Zurgo, but this guy, she When she attacks, he exiles a number of cards from the top of your library equal to the number of different known tokens. And then you can, during your turn, you may play those cards during any turn. So you start exiling on the side, and then they will be waiting for you to play them. Yeah, any Undying Partisan. So you can just pick the one that makes more sense. These two commanders are very strong. Haste, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you put a +1 counter on Nyanyanyami, and you sacrifice another creature, and it just gains indestructible. And he has haste. Okay. Grenko. So when he hits, he goes, or you exile a card that you can cast. Legion under War Boss. Sorry, the deck is falling. His mentor, whenever this creature attacks, put a +1 on target attacking creature with lesser power. So he needs to go up. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a goblin that is attacking. And doesn't go away in the end of the turn. So yeah, you can give him the +1 and then he becomes stronger and stays in the game. Ogre Battle Driver. Whenever another creature you control enters, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste. Siege Gang Commander. I'm gonna move a bit faster now. Tempt with Vengeance. Kaya. Geist Hunter. So she's coming from the window. Is this like Innistrad or Darkmoor? Creatures you control gain Death Touch until the end of the turn. Imagine all those tokens with Death Touch attacking, and you put a +1 counter on up to one target creature. Then she goes down till the end of the turn. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, create twice as many. And then on -6, you exile all the cards from all the graveyards and create a 1 white spirit with flying for each card exiled that way. Another great way for you to bring more tokens. Blade of Selves. You keep a creature as Myriad. I love Myriad. I love to have Myriad and not take with creatures against creatures with Myriad. There's also the Mirrors, Simulacrum, that allow some dual lands here to make the magic happen. Okay, let's move forward a bit here. Dark Skull Summit. Worship. Chapel. Vault of Archangel. Creatures you control gain Death Touch and lifelink until the end of the turn. The hideaway thing. Okay, now. Shadow Summoning. Create spirits. Greaves. Skull Clamp. Different heart now. Signet. Soul Ring. Okay, these decks may have different soul rings, right? This is the purple, which combines with the colors. So I don't recognize the place or whatever happening there, just the purpling. Command Tower. Would that be also a different command tower for every deck? Gold Knight. Lingering Souls. Release of the Dogs. Create a dog token. Stroke of Midnight. White Humans. Sword of Plowshares. Classic. Bastion of Remembrance. The Bitter Triumph. Deadly Dispute. Morbid Opportunist. Viscera Seer. Abrade. Beetleback Chief. Loyal Apprentice. Okay, now more lands. This one is the Mardu land. Aaron, Bernalia's Ruin. He has Madness and he gives +1 to each other creature. By sacrificing a creature, he gives +1 to each other creature. Talus. Fellow War, Talismans, Palpable, Pajuka. And I guess we are entering the final stage, which are the lands here. That's it. Mountains, plains, and swamps. I got a very positive impression for just scrolling through the cards for this deck. Definitely waiting to try it as a priority. But to be honest, this is the first of the Tarkir decks that I'm opening, so I don't know what's going to be the feeling of the other 4, but at least this one looks cool. I hope you also enjoyed the video to the point that you consider hitting that like button and subscribing, so I have this big playlist for Magic the Gathering content, as well as for all the other major card games out there, and a big playlist for board games, as well as the podcast, the Table Talks, where I normally interview people to get to know their stories, their profiles, while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that you will find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next video. Goodbye.